Yeah, I mean, there aren't a whole lot of Rhodes in New Zealand, so I don't know how I found that one actually. It may have been, it's pre-internet, so I was probably looking at the newspaper every day just waiting for a Rhodes to turn up. And one did turn up. It was a great piano, great action, great sound. And then I found the one guy who services Rhodes in Auckland, where I grew up. He did an amazing job, and I'd go and see him every couple of weeks. I'd smash a key, break a time, that kind of thing. So we became really tight, and I think he really appreciated too, just seeing a young guy come through who was into this kind of older vibe. Everyone else was on cork Tritons or whatever. It was probably the M1 back then. I don't know. But for me, it was all about having that actual instrument. There's a beautiful tone to it to me that I just love, and getting into chromatic harmonics where things which wouldn't necessarily work and at the same time they would work in any context on any instrument, but the Rhodes seems really forgiving of those clashes, and that's something I loved about with Death Wish particularly, and Blow Up, Herbie's stuff, where you get these really oblique harmonies and they'd work, and and just the simple intervals, like the major 7 has a sound on the Rhodes that it doesn't have on other instruments, and minor second 2 just I just love how it can hang and harmonics kind of interact with each other. I feel like there was always a kind of a futuristic element, especially in the London scene, which I was involved with, where it was ironically, super retro, but really forward thinking. It was tapping into this 70s kind of George Duke, Herbie, Return to Forever, Miles thing, but just mashing that up with club music in a way that it did sound super ahead. And it's funny when I go back and listen to a record like there's a tune called Pyramid by Cannonball Adderley that George Duke's playing on, and it's maybe 50 years old now, but it sounds super futuristic. And there's something about that context of between the Rhodes and electronic keyboards that brings that personality. Church was actually, it's a club night that we started 3 years ago in Santa Monica, and now it's become a bi-coastal LA-New York thing. And it was christened Church by Nia Andrews, who's a resident vocalist with the club night, and I definitely owe her that. She named it really well. But we were at a venue called Angels in Santa Monica, and they offered us the first Sunday of the month. And it was all about the music. It wasn't about, what's trendy today, or it wasn't for the club kids. It was just about celebrating music. So it was at Angels, first Sunday of the month. It's a celebration. She was like, it's got to be church. So it was as simple as that, really. For me, I also, having moved to LA from London, I really wanted to develop my own live presentation, kind of club night showcase here in LA. And I guess the concept of it wasn't that dissimilar to what I used to do in London. I used to do a fully improvised dance floor club music show, where I'd have the Rhodes, the MPC, a couple of synths, and the band, and we'd do fully improvised shows of live dance floor electronic club music. So I wanted to do that in LA, but I didn't feel like I wanted to do the same thing. It's like I'm in LA now, it's a different place, different people, different everything. And one thing I did reconnect with when I moved here was growing up as an aspiring young jazz piano player. Like my time in London, connecting with different styles of music and electronic music had me running away from the jazz. I was like, no, I don't play piano anymore. People be like, can we put piano on this track? I was like, no, we can't. Or like, do you want to play a trio gig? I was like, no, I don't want to. It became all about, playing in a production context. Rhodes was as close as I got to an acoustic piano. Otherwise I'd be on synths and that kind of thing. But yeah, something about coming to LA and coming to the States, yeah, I felt like it was time to reconnect with the jazz side of my history. Um, and that was also a reconnection with the acoustic piano, which was great. So it became a combination of the grand piano, the Rhodes, the drum machine, and just starting to interpolate all of it together. So church became a way to kind of share my story of my journey as a musician, growing up playing jazz, getting into hip hop in high school, getting into jungle and drum and bass and club music, going to the UK and getting into DJing and remixing and all that kind of thing, and now finally being able to bring it into one hopefully cohesive story.